Hey, man.
What's up?
Today we're going to do an episode about someone who's still alive. Have you ever heard of
What? Okay. All right. One of the weirdest intro we've done in a fat minute. Okay, great. Go for it.
Have you ever heard of Thomas?
Jose Canseco's still alive.
I mean, it's not the first time we've done one.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you got to be like,
at the outset?
Today we're, hey man, today we're going to do an episode about someone who's still alive. Did they survive something crazy? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, depending on your perspective, yes.
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Thomas Fitzpatrick? You might know him as Tommy Fitz.
Tommy Fitz?
Yeah.
No, but he sounds like he runs a 50s themed diner.
Ooh.
Come on down to Fitz's.
It does. It does. There's a Fitz's here,
Yeah,
right? That's the train place.
that's Fritz's,
Oh, close.
right?
Right?
I think so, yeah.
Fritz,
Yeah.
Fritz's.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, don't ask about train places.
Yeah, you're a
love
train
it.
boy.
Today we're going to talk about my favorite train places.
Okay.
I'm a trainee. My goal is to get enough dirt on people that I force them to come to my shows at a blackmail. Here's my tour dates. If you don't come, I'll ruin you.
They were just like, yeah, we need you to do this for the war. You can get your license later. Who cares? Those airplane noises?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Okay.
I'm a pilot.
Just so matter of fact.
Things I learned last night. Tilling it.
Have you ever heard
man.
of Tommy Fitz?
Tommy Fitz.
Tommy
No.
Fitz. So Tommy Fitz, he was a dude who lived in.
Is a dude.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You're right. Still alive.
What's track? You know how, we record too far in advance to do this.
You're right. Let's record another version just in
case.
Hey, you can't guarantee anything here.
So today's episode is about a dude who's not alive anymore.
All right. Okay, so Tommy Fitz was
It's a real possibility, honestly. He was born in 1930. So
Okay. Go ahead.
Connor, just use whichever one you need to.
Yeah, we'll send you a thumbs up or thumbs down.
So Tommy Fitz. He was born in Manhattan,
Okay.
New York, the big one.
Yeah.
And he was your average New Yorker in the 30s, right? And 40s and 50s, all the years he was alive. Your average New Yorker.
Okay. Is alive.
You're right. He still is.
Hey, average New Yorker.
Well, he moved to New
He's
Jersey. Now he's your average New Jersey or
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Sure.
Yikes. Okay, so he's an interesting fellow for a couple of reasons. One,
Okay.
when he was 13, he said it'd be cool to be in the army. It's 1943,
Yeah.
and he's like they'd be cool, and so he just joined. Lied about his age, and they were like, "Yeah, we can use you. It's fine. Like, we know you're lying, but it's fine. We can use you."
Yeah, they needed people.
Yeah. War ends. A few years later.
What did he do in the military?
War.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm saying, are you stupid? What are you, a dumb person? I'm saying, sorry, I shouldn't say that word anymore. Stupid or shut up. So, what did he do in the military? I'm saying like he wasn't on the front lines storming the beaches at 13, right?
Yeah. So he joined Marine Corps, and he was
That's a lot to go through.
Yeah, at that age, for sure. For
puberty and storming the beaches. Storming the beaches of Normandy and adulthood.
This is 43. This is late war. There's no beaches anymore. It's kind of just
It's kind of like we're
it's just running around looking for Hitler. That's all that
sure
the war is at that point.
Got it.
Anyways, he did eventually get into.
Some would say that's when the true war really started.
Some will say that we haven't stopped that war yet. We're still looking.
Someone say we're still fighting that war.
So he got into recon planing for a little bit too. So he started flying recon planes.
At what, 14?
Yeah. So picked that hobby up, I guess you could say career up at 14. When he was 16, the military found out, now the war's over, they don't need teenagers anymore. At 16, the military finds out and is like, hey, you can't do this anymore. And then he went and he got a permission slip from his parents. That's not a joke. It's 100% serious.
Hey, my dad says I can go to war.
My dad says I can be here.
Hey, Dad, the United States military's parents already said yes. Can I stay over at their house tonight?
Oh, this is really awkward because I'm supposed to go
Uncle Sam said yeah.
I have some classified things I'm supposed to go do, so I need you to say I can.
I can't tell you what we're going to do.
I can't tell you what we're going to do, Dad. But I need you to tell me it's okay for me to do it.
Please. Please let me go.
I'll give you 2 flights. I'll give you this coupon for 2 flights in my plane, in my recon plane.
Okay, so he starts reconnaissance.
Yeah, he ends up getting stationed to Japan. And he's in there for
15?
16. And so it's 46 now?
Like, as long as your parents know, we didn't care if your parents knew 3 years ago when you were 13.
Yeah.
But now we have a permission slip.
But now we got a permission slip. So you're
okay.
Good. And so he ships off to Japan, gets stationed at Japan, and he's there for a few years. And then the Korean War starts bubbling up. And he actually gets injured, and he receives a Purple Heart for it. But then because of that, he's honorably discharged. And so he misses out on the Korean War.
What age does he get discharged?
20.
So he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And a Purple Heart veteran.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he actually has like 7 years of service. World War II, some stuff in Japan. And like arguably, not officially Korean War, but it's like, it's the Korean War.
You'd let him wear the hat.
Yeah, you could wear the hat if you want. Oh,
Sure.
Yeah. It's kind of like...
I'm going to veto whatever you're going to say.
No.
Let's just go ahead to the next part.
It's kind of like when...
Okay.
It's kind of like when you you play varsity, but you're like a third string. So you get a letter, but it's like you never even like saw the field, you know?
Sure.
Similar scenario.
You're saying his Purple Heart you're equating a Purple Heart veteran.
But like kids on the third...
No, I just wanted to make sure.
But third string kids break their legs all the time.
Cool. You're saying a Purple Heart veteran is the equivalent of a third string.
Well, he got injured in a car wreck in Japan. That's what happened. It wasn't even...
Is it real?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a record. I mean, I'm sure there's a record in like the military books somewhere, but there's not like a public record of what happened to him to get a Purple Heart.
Okay.
Because that's not the interesting part of his life. We're getting to that part.
Okay.
So,
I'm just saying that's a lot of life lived by 20.
Yeah, and it explains why he's the way he is then.
Okay.
So he does whatever. He returns home, finds a couple of jobs, works as like a steel miller.
Sure.
Whatever that means, making steel and stuff. And one night in September 30th, 1956, he is at a bar in northern Manhattan at the end of a bachelor party. Did the bachelor party thing. And then he's been living in New Jersey for a couple of years now since he got back from Japan. And so he hasn't spent a lot of time in Manhattan. This is his old stomping grounds. He's kind of like reliving the glory days, you know?
Sure.
When he was 13 and the
13
war.
running the streets of New York. Yeah. Reliving the glory days.
And so
when he was 13, couldn't find his way around, ran into Donald Trump in a hotel, ordered some pizza, took down some bad guys.
As you do.
As
the most average New Yorker.
When you're 13, yeah. You know, here's the deal.
When you're 13 and don't know your way around the subways, it's easy to get lost there. It's a 15 reference. It's one of Taylor Swift's hit songs from 2008.
You know, I was talking to someone yesterday about Taylor Swift. that does like live production for events?
Sure.
Let's take a guess. I bet Alex could have a better guess at this.
Cool.
How many trucks, semi trucks, do you think their stage production brings on tour with them?
20.
20. What do you think?
I think it's in like the 80s now.
Holy crap! No way.
He told me 63.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said that it might be closer to what you said because he said there's 2 units, and so what they do is
and that's the stage production.
the stage production will go. They'll skip a date. So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah,
that's
they
here
do
in
what
KC,
Warped Tour did.
Yeah, we'll go to the next date with
Yeah,
that. All
so
their,
they're
their
already
crew.
setting up. So she's here. We're recording this in 2021.
Yeah.
But we're very far ahead. But she's here like this Friday, isn't she?
Yeah, and he said the stage crew's already here.
That's what I'm saying. They roll in
yeah,
a couple
they're
days
setting
before.
they're setting up the stage, and then the other
Is she-
one's
was she at
now
Arrowhead or
on
what?
their way to the
Yeah.
next venue.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
That's
crazy.
bonkers, dude.
Anyways,
I've got a couple tickets that I'm trying to resell.
yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the price?
Are you trying to buy?
Well, it depends what the price is.
Well, right now, it's... Nope, just kidding. It's higher now. It's higher now. It's higher now. It's higher now. Just keeps going up.
Give me a number.
Oh, I can't. It's impossible.
Okay, cool. What are like 20 bucks?
6,300.
Oh,
7,200. It's just jumping like a
I
lot.
need to pull the trigger.
Dude, these Taylor Swift fans are rich, I guess. I'm a scalper.
Debt. Or in debt.
They're very much in debt.
Both. A little both.
To her.
Okay, so
She
I hear
owns them.
there's a moment in the middle of that show where the whole stadium, nobody knows why, just stops. Like it goes silent, and then they start this kind of like low hum, and they're like,
My goal is to get enough dirt on people that I force them to come to my shows out of blackmail. Some people have an email list. I got a blackmail list. Oh, no, I've got probably like 1,000 people in Jacksonville, Florida that I have some dirt on. Let me do a show there. They'll all show up. And if they don't, send out my newsletter that's just like, you better show up. Here's my tour dates. If you don't come, I'll ruin you. Man, here's my live shows. Show up or I'll tell everyone your secrets.
wow.
It's called the Secrets Out Tour.
I love that. It's poetic.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, Tommy
Every single one of our
Fitz.
Patreon supporters. I know so
Who's
much
got
about
dirt
him,
on
dude. So, I don't know how we got here. I apologize. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. If you like our show, please leave a review, leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube, and go check out other episodes. Here's one that I hate, the Lonnie Zamora incident. You know me, just not a big fan of the Alien episodes, but if that's your jam, that's out there. So go check that out. It's a very fun episode. I think you'd like it. I hated it. So anyway, back to this episode. But
Tommy Fitz.
yeah, I understand Tommy Fitz.
He's back
He's
in-
up in Manhattan.
he's up in Manhattan.
13, running the streets. Now he's back 20.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got a Purple
at
Heart.
this point, like 26. He's
He's
it's a
been
bachelor
in
party.
Germany for a while.
Japan.
How do you
Well,
say
I guess
living?
probably World War II. Probably spent
No,
some
I
time
thought
in
you said he went from Japan and then lived in Germany.
Jersey.
Oh.
New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
People mix those two up all the time. You're good. No, he lived in Jersey for a little bit, so
Sure.
he hadn't been back to Manhattan.
Too far of a drive.
it's a trip. And so he was like, this bachelor party's over. It was a good bachelor party, whatever. But I want to go back to my old stomping ground. So he goes to a bar that he used to go to as a child. Is
that real?
And yeah, I guess. I don't know. Every place I've seen this story retold acts like he's like reliving like his time in Manhattan. But when he was in Manhattan, he was a
13.
child.
Yeah.
So, but he goes to this bar. He does go to a bar.
There was a Wiggles concert. He was like, I just want to see my favorite band again.
He goes to this bar and he's hanging out at this bar. It's late. It's like 1, 2 a.m.
Sure.
And while he's at the bar, he gets in this argument with another patron at the bar
Okay.
over whether or not he could get to where they were from Jersey City in 15 minutes or less. And the guy was like, no way. You cannot pull this off. You could not get here in 15 minutes. He's like, I guarantee you, from Jersey City right to here. To this bar in 15 minutes. To give you an idea, I actually took a screenshot on maps of where this is. So this is like northern end of Manhattan. Like,
The red dot.
Yeah, this is barely Manhattan anymore where this bar is. Like it's
And then where is he at in New Jersey that he's going to come from?
I didn't take a screenshot of that, but it's. I just assumed
You didn't
knew
want
where
to screenshot the road directions to see how long it would take now? You didn't think maybe that was useful?
Fine. Give me a second.
Just going to point to the side of the TV and be
Yeah,
like,
what
it's
were you
over
going to
there.
do here, Tim?
You know,
What was the point of bringing this up? What were you thinking? Now, LaGuardia, let me tell you about LaGuardia.
Tell me about it.
There is a bagel place in that airport that is phenomenal. So good. Couldn't tell you what it's called. I do know where it is on the airport map, though. And every time I fly through LaGuardia, I go get a bagel. I'm stalling for time. But I do go get... was the W in George W. Bush, was that Washington? What is... No,
I think
George
it was washing
Walker.
machine.
Is it Walker?
It might be Walker. It's not what I said.
Like Walker, Texas Ranger?
I don't know.
What is it?
I think it's Washington. I've always thought it was Washington. Now I'm Googling this.
George Walker Bush. It's Walker. Like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Interesting. Never would have guessed that.
Huh.
I always just assumed Washington. Okay, ready for this?
Sure.
I've had this ready for a while. There it is.
Okay, so
an
that
hour
would take,
and 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would take driving.
But that's with modern New York traffic
Sure.
today. Like traffic looks pretty bad on the northern end of that
Yeah.
run. So all that to say, it's not a quick drive, you know?
Right.
And this
About
is
13 miles, it says. 13.8, almost
Yeah.
14 miles.
This is 1956 too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a trip. And so he says, I can do it
In 15 minutes.
in 15 minutes. And the guy's here doubting him. Like, he's like, no, you couldn't. You could not pull this off. And he's like,
How is he suggesting he would get from point A to point B?
He's not
like,
like-
I can run it?
He's not given like an idea. Like, he's
Like,
not.
I could get it from there to here in 15 minutes.
Yeah. And the guy's like, I don't believe you. You couldn't do that. And he's like, I could.
He's not saying like on foot or...
No, he's just saying I could do it.
Okay.
And so they kind of argue about it for a little bit, whatever. It's like 1 a.m. And then he's just like, all right. And so, like, kind of Irish exits. Like, everyone's sitting there doing the drink, and he just walks out the building. And so no one really sees him leave. But
Okay. But they all see him return.
2 hours later, one of the patrons of the bar that night, it's just before last call, recounts that he heard what sounded like a loud fan, and he looks outside the windows of the bar to see this.
Oh,
If you're listening, there's a plane in the street.
just parallel parked. Like a parallel parked plane. It's missing a wing. Did he lose a wing?
This is a couple days later while they were like, okay, we got to get this out of here.
And you can't take off. We got to take it apart.
They had to take it apart. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. And so, well, here's what he did. He said, all right. And so he got a taxi back to Jersey City, which took like an hour.
Yeah.
And so he gets back
in Jersey City, he has a plane.
No. So in Jersey City,
He stole a plane?
So in Jersey City, he had relatively recently done some work as an airline mechanic, or not airline, but like regular airplane mechanic for like private planes.
Like a small little airport.
At Teterboro Airport, which is like a small regional airport in Jersey
Teterboro.
City. He had done some work there. He also was working on getting his actual pilot's license out of that airport. And so
Did he not have his actual pilot's license? Because
which is interesting. Yeah,
He did
because
reconnaissance.
he did recon flights in the military, but maybe the military at the time didn't license you. They were just like, yeah, we need you to do this for the war. You can get your license later. Who cares? I don't know. But I guess maybe it's a civilian license he needed to get separately. I don't know. I don't know what the legal terms in the 50s were, but I do know he was studying to get his license out of this airport. He'd done some mechanic work out of this airport. And so he went and he found Cessna 150 and just took it and took off and flew up to Manhattan and then came to St. Nicholas Avenue near 191st
Landed on the street.
Yeah, and came in and landed right on the street about 3 o'clock in the morning. No lights, no radio. Landed and then taxied to the bar and parallel parked in front of the bar and got out and said, I took off 15 minutes ago. And everybody in the bar was a little bit more impressed about the plane thing than they were about the got here in 15 minutes thing.
Like you could have taken 16 and we still would have been impressed.
We still would have, because here's the thing. This is New York City. There's 6-7 story buildings at the time.
Yeah, so he just brings it down in the middle, like you're dodging buildings.
Yeah, you're dodging buildings, all the light poles. They described it like threading a needle, like right in between all that. And there's traffic too. And not a lot, it's 3 a.m., but there's cars out there. And there's
but that's the thing about a
Cessna
Cessna is you can see
down,
down.
Yeah. So, he pulls it off. He lands. He's also, it's 3 a.m. He went to a bachelor party and spent a couple hours arguing with someone in a bar. Like, he's definitely intoxicated. And so he lands that plane. Everybody at the bar is like, dude, super cool.
And then the police are like, hey.
Excuse me.
They were the bars carrying him outside on their shoulders. He did it! This guy did it! He flew the plane! He landed it!
Plane.
Yeah. Tommy Fitz! Tommy Fitz! And then the police roll up and they go, who did this? He goes, put me down, put me down. Put me down right now. And they're all like, he did it! He did it! He's like, I didn't do that.
I don't know why they're saying
I lied.
that. I don't know why they're saying they keep saying that.
I don't know why they did that.
I don't know who he is.
I could get out of here in 15 minutes.
They're all hanging out back in the bar. They're celebrating.
You
They're
want to see a
toasting.
Purple Heart?
And someone in the comes over to the bar intercom and says, "Hey, if you parked on 191st,
you are illegally parked
they tow
outside."
at 3 a.m. and the plane's just getting towed out front."
Whoever has the Cessna 150, your lights are on.
Also, I don't think you can park a plane there. So the police show up.
The meter was broken.
The police show up. And they start asking questions.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, so what's up with that?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I was flying out to the other airport and I had some engine problems, and so
so he claims
I
it's
decided
emergency landing.
Emergency land right here.
Grab a
And
drink.
Everybody here was, they saw it. They thought it was
Cheering
impressive. So I
and
came in and
saying my
got a
name
couple
and-
drinks. It's not like, it's just,
They want me to sign their faces and and autographs and pictures and they kept saying I wouldn't use the word hero. I think they did. If you write that down in your little cop notebook that you got, hero. It's HERO.
Yeah,
and but I don't.
I
wouldn't say I flew it.
Yeah, I would say it was kind of something from deep within, like when like things just takes.
I'll
over.
tell you what happened, officer. I left here, got a taxi, blacked out, woke up here again with a plane outside.
With a plane outside.
Couldn't tell you.
Don't know where the plane came from.
We don't know what PTSD is yet. But this sure sounds like it.
So the police officer is like, "That's a cool story. What about the reports we have of a plane that went missing at around 2 o'clock from this airport?"
He said, no. 2
and
o'clock's
also-
30 minutes ago.
It
Couldn't be
only
me.
took me 15
It took
minutes.
me 15 minutes to get over here.
And then the reports of a plane taking off without radio or lights from that same airport. And then, a plane that matches that description just so happens to be out here. And you got any idea
What a
what
coinky dink.
Yeah,
That's how they talked. What a coinky
It's just
dink.
coincidence. So he gets arrested.
On the theft.
Yeah,
not on the illegal
theft,
landing.
Not on the landing.
Okay.
So he gets arrested for that. The owner of the plane comes forward, has a word with Tommy, decides not to press charges because he says it was pretty
He's a hero.
He did say, he literally said, it's impressive that he landed it and there's no damage. So
But now they have to take it apart.
he didn't press charges. I don't know who paid to move it. Maybe the city. I don't know. But they did take it apart and they shipped it back to the airport and put it back together. Hey, thanks again for watching this episode. If you're enjoying it and you're enjoying TILLN, you've been around for a little bit, I want to invite you to be a part of our Patreon. We have a Patreon that has early access to all of our episodes, ad-free content, both audio and video. We have a Discord with our hosts and producers. That's a ton of fun, getting to hang out with all of our patrons in there. We also do once a month now, we do these live streams with our patrons. We hang out, we get to know each other, we eat pizza. It's a blast, along with a bunch of other benefits like merch discounts, message on your birthday, like fun stuff. It's definitely worth it. We're having a blast with our patrons. But if that doesn't sound like something for you, then get the heck out of here. Just kidding. No, we love you. Thanks for checking out TILLN Podcast. How do they get it though? I realized I forgot to put a CTA in mine.
Oh, dang,
you were doing
gummit.
that. Yeah.
They can text TILLN to 66866.
Thanks, Jared.
Why'd they ship it? Okay.
Well, I mean, like a truck. They loaded it into a truck and drove it to the airport.
That's what I'm saying. But why it flies?
Yeah, but what are they going to take it apart and then take it down to a different airport and then fly it 3 minutes to that airport when they could just drive 20 minutes?
Was it 20 minutes? If it was a 20-minute drive, why was the argument over 15 minutes?
Well, what I'm saying is the other airport.
Oh.
It was probably 20 minutes. I don't know. I don't know the distance of every airport in
Sure,
New York City.
I do.
Okay. Anyways.
It's part of my training.
They put a blindfold on your face.
Yeah.
And then they describe a runway to you and you have to tell them where it is. Those airplane noises?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Okay.
I'm a pilot.
Just so matter of fact. Yes, they are. Okay, so no charges pressed.
No charges
so
pressed.
He goes, let me do it again.
And so he spends 3 days in jail.
Oh, shoot. No way.
He spends 3 days in jail while they figure this out.
My favorite is Tim's face when I jump ahead in a story on accident. Okay.
He spends 3 days in jail while they figure this thing out. And then he gets out.
After his
goes
hard
about
time
his
in
life,
jail.
Goes about his life. The police are like, well, I mean, he got away with it, I guess. And he goes about his life. A couple years later, he's back at this same bar. Likes this bar a lot now because it's the fame. He's got his picture on the wall.
His picture's on the wall. Yeah.
It's like he won the Blazing Challenge. And he likes to hang out by the picture and be like, you know how I earned this picture?
They call him Timmy, but he goes with it.
Yeah.
And he goes, whatever.
It's close enough to my name. But don't you dare call me Tibby. You say Tibby. So he's hanging out at this bar and the people are talking to him, whatever. And some guy's like, you didn't do that.
The plane thing?
Yeah. And this guy's like, you didn't do that. That didn't happen.
So this guy has an ego issue where he goes, I don't believe you.
Yeah. He's like, you didn't do that. There's no way.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I did. And he's like, no, you didn't. And so he, again, Irish exits.
He's like, he doesn't even. I like that he doesn't say goodbye.
Just kind of disappears. Everyone's like,
he's like, I'm going to the bathroom, and then disappears for like 2 hours.
Everyone's like, where'd Tommy go?
Tommy?
Oh, jeez, Tommy. He's always disappearing and coming back with a plane. It's his thing.
Yeah,
He does it every time.
it's his party trick.
Where'd you find that plane? So yeah, he does the same thing. He gets a taxi, goes down to the same airport, finds someone else's Cessna 150.
Different plane.
Yeah, but it's same plane, different plane.
Yeah.
Same type of plane, different plane.
I know how that works. We both drive Honda Civics. I'm not going to get in your car when we leave here.
Like, this is
And be like, this is mine. I drive a Honda Civic. And you're like, no. I get that you drive a Honda Civic.
but it's the
This is a different Honda Civic. No.
But it's a different Honda Civic.
I drive a Honda Civic. I'm not stupid, Tim.
Same car, different car, okay? Same car, but different car.
Okay.
Okay. So he takes a taxi out to that airport.
Yeah.
Taxis out to the runway and then takes off and pulls it off again. This time, though, it's not 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like earlier evening, like 10 o'clock. So there's traffic.
Oh, no.
And so he actually, as he's coming in for a landing, there's a car. And so he comes in for the landing and he touches and goes over the car and takes off, hits 20 feet over the car, and comes back down and lands behind the car.
Well, that's super dangerous, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, landing on the street is super dangerous in general.
Sure.
But pulls it off. Doesn't damage the plane, doesn't damage any vehicles, doesn't damage light poles or the buildings or the streets or anything. And the patrons in the bar described the same experience as they're all sitting there being like, where'd Tommy go? And they just hear what sounds like a loud fan as he taxis into this parallel parking spot.
And here comes the fan man. You know?
So he lands drunk again, gets out. Everyone's excited. The police are really mad this time because they're like, you just
They're
did
like,
this.
this wasn't an emergency.
Yeah. And
He's like, no, it was.
He's like, no, it was an emergency. And they're like, tell us about the emergency. He's
Well,
like,
he didn't believe I did it.
I said I did this thing, and
It
he
was
did
a crisis of my inner self.
Yeah, if I couldn't prove that I did this, then I'd be dead.
It was an identity crisis is what it was.
And so he gets arrested.
For plane theft?
Yeah, and so the charge that he was given was grand larceny.
Yeah.
For the theft. The pilot did press charges for that, and so he got slapped with a really big fine for that. But the judge...
The bar all came together and paid it, though. They said,
bar
let's
was like,
pass a bucket around for our friend Timmy, who's flown here twice. And you believe him now, don't you? Doubting Thomas.
It was a love offering, and the story goes, I don't know if it's true, but the story goes that love offering inspired a young man who was in the bar that night, also like 11, like two.
To fall through some ice.
Where are you taking this? Because that's not the direction I'm going.
I was just, never mind.
To fall through some ice.
Yeah, and he got saved, and then a whole movie came out about him. If it wasn't for Tommy flying that plane and landing in New York City, I wouldn't have fallen through that ice and got a whole Christian movie made about me.
Okay.
What's next?
Yeah, what I was going to say.
Sorry, you look like you're having a real breakthrough right now.
Forget it. My joke's not good.
Okay. Sparked my interest.
I was just going to say like a Southwest thing. Like this guy's like, what if there was an airline that had this much love for its passengers?
Oh,
and then
you were going to free
Airlines.
bags? Okay.
No, yeah. So the judge came down pretty hard because they said, hey, if we would have actually punished him last time, he might not have done it this time.
Sure. And he was proven wrong on the third time.
No, they came down pretty hard on him. They gave him 6 years in prison for illegal parking of an airplane was the sentence, which apparently
is 6 years in prison.
I don't think it is, but this time it was because the grand larceny, I guess they couldn't for some reason. I feel like that was probably an easier charge to get a larger sentence.
Sure.
But the illegal parking of an airplane was what they hit him with, and they gave him 6 years in prison for that. And so he said in an interview about it, he said it was that dang drink. So it's all the alcohol's fault.
Is this the end of the episode?
Here's the thing, though. He didn't never do it again. This is the end of the episode. As we know. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You seem surprised.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought there was an interesting part of the story.
Are you not interested in plane landing in the street in New York?
I love that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You have a quarter pilot's license. You should be interested in this topic. You should ask your flight instructor next time you go on a flight.
I will. My real person is a flight instructor. You should ask yours.
When's the next time you're going to go on a flight?
Go to the little chat menu on freaking Flight Simulator.
Yeah. Well, I actually land planes in that one.
All right.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It has been a while.
Are you going to pick that back up?
Yeah.
Brent asked me about that yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah, he said, you think Jaren's going to pick that back up?
Why would I not?
It's been a while.
Do you know why it's been a while?
Yeah, because you landed that plane in front of that bar and they won't let you anymore.
They won't let me fly anymore.
You just got to pick better bars to do that. Pick the ones that'll like vouch
Now,
for you.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, so I wanted to throw some axes one night, right? So I go downtown and I land my plane and I bury the hatchet. And for those that don't know how the FAA works, Tim, is that in 2015,
Yes.
I took an antidepressant
Yes.
for like 2 months
Yes.
to see if it would help.
Yes.
And me and my counselor decided it didn't.
Yes.
It didn't make that much of a difference.
Yes.
And so I quit taking it. But the FAA
Yeah.
is like, whoa, why did you take that? Oh, you can't be in a plane.
Yeah.
You took it. Why what are you going to do? You know? And so now they're making it really difficult for me to get my pilot's license, which is also why all of your airline pilots never report any of their health or mental issues.
Also true.
And end up having shorter lives because of it.
Yeah.
And you know what I say to the FAA? That's super annoying.
You know what? You know what FAA stands for?
Fiddle.
Hey, thanks for making it to the end of this video. If you like this and you want more episodes, there's more somewhere around here and also clips from the show. But make sure you subscribe. Please do that. That really helps us. It makes us feel good. We look at the number and we go, oh my gosh, there's more people who like us. And it also just makes sure that you don't miss episodes in the future because we put these out every single week. And there's so many in the past, so many old episodes you can go watch. And you know there's an entire season of episodes that we didn't even have video for. So you can go listen to those if you'd like to as well. Thanks for being here. We will see you again next week on Things I Learned Last Night. That's this
what we're
podcast,
called,
right? That's this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Things I Learned Last Night.
That's the one. All right, you're free to go.
Great.